Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today we're looking at a beer that was picked up at Rebellion, but it looks like it's a collab beer. It does, because it has the Pile of Bones symbol on it, too. So we have Pile of Bones, we have Rebellion, and this is the Regina Folk Festival beer. It's a hoppy lager. So I've been talking to a lot of people in Regina, and some of them bring up beer. And the ones that bring up beer usually talk about Pilsners and lagers. Pilsners and lagers seem to be the thing. So I don't know if this was playing on the let's make a craft beer for the Regina Folk Festival or what it was meant to be. I'm going to read the can shortly. But I would think just a regular lager would be more akin to what the mass majority of people are after in the province, from what I've gathered chatting with people. Now, albeit a lot of the people I talk to are people at my work, so a lot of them are farmers and such that are in getting feed for their animals and stuff. But I would assume, I know making assumptions is horrible, but I would assume that just a regular lager, more so than a hoppy lager, is more what would be looked for here. But it does say light, clean, citrus, delicious. And if it is light, clean, citrus, and delicious, okay, I can accept that. And what do we have here? Regina Folk Festival 2023. Okay, so this is from 2023. What's our dating? Okay. The last several beers I've had that I've picked up at Rebellion have been, the last few I've reviewed, shall we say, have been 18, 17, 14, and 12 months old. This one's 9, so it's doing better. But it's the 5th of June, 2023. Or it's actually, Regina seems to do month, day, year more. So it's 05, 06, 23. So it's either May 6th, 2023, or it's the 5th of June, 2023. Either way, it's 9 or 10 months old. Still better than what I've been getting. But I'm starting to flounder a little bit on these dates. Regina Folk Festival, incorporated in, just RFF, okay, is a non-profit that throws some wonderful events throughout the year. First and foremost, there is the festival itself. Held annually at Victoria Park on the weekend following the long weekend in August. The festival is a much anticipated and immense celebration of music and community. Ingredients: barley, corn, hops, water, yeast. Okay, and on this side, which is usually the side that just talks about the land that Rebellion is on, which is Treaty 4 land, it does say that Rebellion and Pile of Bones are found on Treaty 4 land. Okay, we're going to open this over here, especially knowing the age. And again, pretty good. What's sad, though, is I'm getting beers from, like, other provinces that are much fresher than what I'm buying here in my home province, in my home city, right from the breweries. Now, we did talk about the 18-month-old beer, and people are like, well, that's a goof on the brewery. That should have never happened. And I think the brewery's just trying to sell their beer regardless of anything. Now, I'm curious if part of the problem was that forever these beers were only available in 4-packs, and people would go in and go, why would I want a 4-pack of that? I haven't even tried it yet. So I'm curious if the beers are selling better now that the majority of them, at least this brewery, are available as singles as well as 4-packs. Because that's not the case everywhere in the province, from what I've been told. I was told, though, before I went to Rebellion that I wouldn't find a Rebellion beer in a single. And then I went to Rebellion and I found a lot of Rebellion beers in singles. There is some haze to that, but I can still see my hand through it. Bright straw color, bright white head. There is a very apparent snap, crackle, pop, but there is huge tunnels being created in here. It's almost doing the Duvel thing, but it's doing it a lot faster. It's fading a lot faster, but it's clinging. It's clinging all over the place. Sent out of the glass first. Almost like a little bit of lemon coming off of there, and that's about it. Out of the can. Yeah, out of the can, it's almost like a little bit of green. And a little bit of citrus. And I mean, the citrus is coming off as lemon and lime. There's no lemon and lime in the ingredient, so it's obviously going to be coming from the hops if it is actually lemon and lime. The corn should make this a fairly light-bodied beer. I do like the look of it. It is a very nice-looking beer. Let's try it. Cheers. Okay. Now, I don't know if it's that the hoppiness has faded over the 9 or 10 months, or if this is really how it was fresh. And if this is really how it was fresh, I could see this be a big hit at the folk festival. I was worried because, you know, I've had a few hoppy beers from them now, from Rebellion, and I'm like, them doing a hoppy lager for a folk festival, I don't know. This is a tasty lager. It really is. Very easy drinking. Very light-bodied. Light-bodied, easy drinking. A little bit of lemon. A little bit of lime. A little bit of graininess. And then there's this bitterness that does sit at the back of your palate that lets you know you're drinking a craft beer, because there's not many macro brews that come off with that bitterness at the very back of your palate. This one has it. Is it offensive? No. Is it worrisome? No. Is it bothersome? No. I have no problem with the flavor I'm getting at the back of my palate. This is a tasty, sessionable beer. I could even see my dad drinking more than one of these. And my dad has been like a blue drinker most of his life. He even kind of turns his nose up at Old Vienna, because when I go to his place, I always bring some craft brews to review with him and his buddy Ron. But I also bring Old Vienna for myself, because I'm going to slum it, man. I'm going to slum it with my dad. I'm going to slum it with my daddy. And he always turns his nose up at my Old Vienna. So much so that when I went this year, there was still Old Vienna in his fridge from the last visit I had. He's like, yeah, I don't like it. I didn't drink it. I go, sir, I love you, but you are an alcoholic. You did not drink the Old Vienna? He goes, no, I didn't like it. But then he drinks some of my craft beers, and he's like, I really like that. So it's a weird dichotomy that you can get with my dad. But he would like this. And whenever I get to drink a beer and think about my pops, excuse me, if I get to drink a beer and think about my pops, the beer gets a higher mark, because it's made me think about my pops, and I miss my pops. I missed out on a lot of years with my pops. So the worst part is, once I started having a relationship with him, once I started having a better relationship with him, was when I went to places where I wasn't going to see him anymore. I went to the Arctic. I've traveled Canada quite immensely, and now I'm here, and I'm worried because The man ain't getting any younger. The man's had several heart attacks. The man's had cancer. And I'm not going back to Ontario this year because I just don't have the money for it. And will he be there next year? Will he be there next year to see my kids, to see me? I don't know. I know he's the same as me. He doesn't have a lot of money, so he ain't coming to visit me this year. So when I can think about my pops, and as sad as it makes me that I miss so much time with him, fuck, I'm doing a beer review and I have a tear forming in my eye thinking about this shit. This is stupid. You know what? The Rebellion and Pile of Bones collab for the Regina Folk Festival, it's getting an 8 out of 10. I gotta turn the camera off so I can, not cry on camera because we don't want to see a fat albino cry on camera. Bye, guys.